Good morning, Rabbi Isai. We're starting a brand new Mishnah. Says the Mishnah on the bottom of Daf Yomi. We're going to discuss Chatos and we're going to discuss Ariel. Two Mishnayos today. Chatos is in the category of Kochi Kochim. Here, Chatos. We're going to jump to Ariel. Chatos Atzibur Vayochid. Eluhain. Chatos Atzibur. This is when the community brings a Chatos. Sirei Roshi Chadoshim B'Shalmayadis. They bring the Chatos of Rosh Chodesh, Rosh Hashanah, Yontif. Shchita is Matzafon. V'kivodav Meklishar is Matzafon. The Shchita is in the north. North means from the end of the Mizbeach upwards toward the northern wall of the Chazarah. All that is the north. And the accepting of the blood, to receive the blood in a Klisharis is in that area only. Cannot be past that line of the Mizbeach. V'damon ton arba matonos al arba kronos. You have to sprinkle the blood, and we're going to discuss it on four corners of the Mizbeach. Here's the Mizbeach Achitzoin. What a beauty. We're getting a lot of mileage here. 1, 2, 3. I'm not saying where we're starting. We're going to say on all corners. Exactly how, where, we'll see in the Gemara. The Mishnah says Karen, but does it mean Dafka, the corner, the little box on top, which is a 1x1 box, or not? Keitzad, Ola Bakevesh, Upona La Soivev. Here we go. I'm going to be using this chart a lot today. Not a lot, but here, look, this little menchi. Now, if you notice over here, we discussed this. This is the ramp going up. I don't know what this is. There's like a lower ramp. I do know what it is. Basically, it went on an angle, kind of, let's say like the shape of my finger, like this. But he made it like, I guess it's easier when you do wood. And over here, there's something interesting going on here. Okay. Because there's a ledge. The Kayan, this thing is 20 feet tall. From the bottom over here to the top over here is 20 feet tall. So for a human being to stand down here and apply the blood over here is impossible, really, unless you're, from a different generation. They would have to stand on this ledge. How do you get to the ledge? So here, take a look at the video here. Here he goes up, and somewhere around here he makes a right turn. There's a little bit of a ramp, like what's the word I'm looking for? A shortcut ramp with a purple line, and it comes off the main ramp. Now he makes a right turn. He came off the ramp, he made a right. He starts walking here to the Karen Droimus Mizrachis. Now, is he going to make a right or a left at this point?
Yid always goes right.
Yeah, Yid always goes right. The problem is if he goes right, he's going to fall off the Mizbeach. He starts with a right, but then he's going to make a left?
Yeah. 3 lefts.
Oh. So that's the mistake here. Not a mistake, but let me explain what Rashi says. I have to just be careful. If I get on, I made a right. Now I'm standing this way. The Mizbeach is over here. I get over here, I start walking. I get over here. What am I going to do? If I go this, I have to make a left. If I make a right, I die. So what you do is, Rashi says, I face the Mizbeach, and I go like this, and now I make a right. I just made a right. I'm sidestepping. Because if I'm facing the Mizbeach the whole time, I'm just sidestepping. So when I get to the corner, now I make a right. So I'm always making a right. Here, so that's Droimus Mizrachis. And now he makes a right. He's sidestepping, not like in this video. And he hits Tzvoinus Mizrachis. Or Mizrachis Tzvoinus, the Mishnah calls it. He goes from there, and he applies the blood every single time. And he hits Tzvoinus Maravis. You know, that's the Tzafon wall. That's the wall that we keep on saying, that's Tzafon. Everything from that green line to the right side of this picture is Tzafon. That's the north. Makes another right, and finally gets to the Daraim. That's where the two holes are. You can see on the bottom, that's where the site is, where they do all the shirayim that we spoke about. Shiar Adam, let's show this one more time. The leftover blood, after you're done doing all the zrikas, what do you do with it? You put it on the Darim. That's the Darim. That would be right over here, right where the end of the Yisoid, right over here, the Yisoid finishes. There's a little part over here that doesn't have a Yisoid, and there are two little tiny holes in the bottom. You probably see them on the video, right over here. Okay. That's where you put the shirayim. Shirayim Yishoyv Yisoid Roimus. V'nei cholim lifnim min hakloim. And the chatos, the parts that you're able to eat, you eat it only inside the azara. V'nei cholim lifnim min hakloim. And you eat it inside of the curtains of the Mishkan. Today, when they wrote the Mishnah, there were walls. There are those who want to say that this Mishnah is from the time of Moshe Rabbeinu. It's part of the reason why there's no machlokes in this parak. Shir Adam hoyishoyvech el yisoid roimus v'ne'acholim lefnim min hakloim, and you could only eat it inside that zor. You can't bring it into Yerushalayim even. L'zichrei kuhuna. What's a zichrei kuhuna? A male kohen. Only males. B'chol machol. You could do it with any type of recipe you want. And how long do you have? Liyoim v'laylo at chatzos. That day that you shecht it, and that evening only up to chatzos. What's this chatzos? So until 11:15. These days, if you bring your korban chatos 11:15, you're done. Now midiraisa you can go all the way to the morning, to Talisa Shachar. But Chacham said they made a gzera, no, nothing past chatzos. Okay, Yoim, you hear this? So it's a very short period. You have maybe 12 hours. Yoim v'laylo means like, you brought your korban until you get to the Beis Hamikdash, you did everything. You're 12 o'clock in the afternoon. You have until 11:15 that night. That's it. Says the Gemara, how do you apply this blood? Rabbi Yochanan and Rabbi Elazar machlokes. Chadomar noisan amov elech va'amo elech. Oh, gewaldige stuff. Rabbi say, here we go. This is the keren. The green part is the keren. So don't think that the keren means the spitz, the corner, the pointy part. It means the whole keren, the whole horn. You have the whole amma. The keren is 1 by 1 by 1. It's 2 feet by 2 feet by 2 feet tall. So the entire 2 feet, the entire amma, all of the green, you can apply the blood. But the other one says, you can go even lower, as long as you're on the pointy part. You go lower than the horn itself. You go all the way down, all the way to the Chut HaSikra. Says the Gemara explains. I leave the Rebbe Elazar Reb Shimon the Omar he atzmo in nasis ela begufa shel keren. This is machlokes. If you hold that a chatos, you could only apply the blood on the horn part, on the green part. Do kuliyam eloi pligi. So there's no machlokes, and you could apply the blood anywhere on that green part, but there's no machlokes. Ki pligi alibi the Rebbe. According to Rebbe that says you can go lower than the actual horn, the question is, where? Check this out. So you have an amma, and that's the pointy part is the red. So one man says no. According to Rebbe, they could go below the horn all the way to the red line, so I could go in the entire purple area as well. It's not a horn. Horn means the size of the horn all the way down to the Chut HaSikra. I could apply the blood on the entire purple part. And the other Mandamar says no. If you're talking about the horn itself, the green part, that you could apply it on the entire amma. But if you're going to go below the green part, then all you have is the red line on the corner. You can't apply it to the purple, only to the red area. If you hold that you can only apply the blood on the green part, so there's no machlokes. Everybody says you can apply it all over the green. Where's the machlokes? If you hold like Rebbe that you can go below the green, all the way down to the red line, so the machlokes is, could I use the entire purple area or only the red line on the corner? Only by, here's Keneged Chuda. Do we have? Here. Chuda. Only on the corner part. Here, like this guy's about to do with a lot of blood. But it's on the corner. Keneged Chuda in, Feiloi, not more than the pointy part. Meisvei, Chatois Hatziva Vayochet Ketzad Matan Damim. How do you do it? It says in the Brisa, how do you apply the blood? Hoyo Oila La Kevesh. Like similar to the Mishnah, you go up the ramp, and he gets off early. He doesn't go up to the top of he doesn't go all the way to the top of the Mizbeach. He gets off midpoint, and he goes onto the Soivev. He hits the first corner. Then he takes his finger, this finger, the one that you point with, and he sticks it in here. Now, listen to this, very, very interesting. Min adam sheba mizrak, from the blood that's inside the klishares, the golden klishares. The choymer begudoli milamalu betzboi ktana milamata. Something super interesting. You take the pinky and the thumb and you guide the blood down the line. So you're doing something. It's very weird to do. You're holding the blood in with your pinky and your thumb, and with your index finger you're applying the blood. You make sure the blood doesn't go out to the sides. You're holding it in line. Where? Down the spitz, down the corner. So you see the problem here. The problem is that we thought that you could go to the entire purple out, a full amma. And over here it says chuda. It's only on the, how do you say spitz in English?
Corner.
The pointy corner. Until the blood finishes. And that's what you do 4 times. The problem is that we said that you could do it, you have more of an area, you don't have to be so makbid on the corner. You can go amma to each direction. It's 2 feet, 24 inches in each direction. Says the Gemara Hachikamer, this is what he meant to say, Pashat. Mitzvah b'chuda, you want to do it the best possible way, it's on the spitz, on the corner. But you should know that you don't have to be so makbid. You can go out a little bit, out of the line, you could draw a little bit like a kindergartner. You have an am in each direction. My Rebbe, Lozo, Rebbe Shimon, what is the machlokes? There's a red line on the Mizbeach. This red line is the middle point of the Mizbeach. The Mizbeach is 10 amas tall. The Chut HaSikra is 5 amas from the ground. Approximately 10 feet off the ground, midpoint. So the upper bloods of the Chatos and the Oila Sa'if, and we're talking about the Chatas, that's why he's standing above the red line on this ledge. That's a good word. So they go above the red line. And all the bloods of all other kabbanas, whether it's a Taida and a Oila and a Mincha, no, everything, all the bloods, from the red line and below. Divrei Rebbe. Rebbe Lazar Rebbe Shimon Oime b'medvar mamurim b'oila sa'oif. So here's machlokes. B'chadas behema, he atzmo inasis al gufa shekeren. He argues and says, no, you must apply the blood on the backs on top, on the horn on top. Omar Rebbe Vo, my time of the Rebbe, the chsiv v'harel arba amos. Harel is referring to the Mizbeach. The Mizbeach is 4 amos. U'maharel u'lamala. Ask the Gemara, Arba Ames would have, or what? The Mizbech is only 4 ames, the Mizbech is 10 ames. What's 4 ames? No, we're talking about the area of these horns. As the Gemara, Mekoim Kronis Arba Havia. They're not Arba. Each one is 2 by 2. There's 1 by 1, which is 2. No, it should say 2 by 2. Because if you take all of them together, it's 2 by 2. Elo Ema Rishus Kronos Arba. Say, you know what? Yeah, you're right. It's a total of 4 amma area.
Squared.
No, sorry. This is not the pshat. That's what I said last night. No, I meant to say the other pshat last night. I said maybe the first one. It means 4 amas. Rabbi said 4 amas from the bottom of this horn down. I had to circle and line it, and I still said wrong pshat. Okay.
What if it's 10?
For 1 minute, time out. 4 amas. Rabbi said 4 amas from below the horn down to the Chut HaSikra is 4 amas. You have a 4 amas here. If we go back to this picture, right here, the purple area. Why does it say in the pasuk 4 amas? Because below the green, I have 4 purple amas that I could apply the blood. Not awesome. There's a red line in the middle of the Mizbeach to separate between the upper and the lower blood. Where do we get this Sikra business? Here's the Mizbeach, beautiful picture. It's actually originated from the Art Scroll with a few touches. If you see, there's a decorative reshet, a screen, a lattice on the Mizbeach. This is, you're talking about in the Mishkan, not the Mizbeach in the Beis HaMikdash. According to the Netziv, it was literally like they do for acrobats, like a reshet. They put like a safety net. Thank you. It was like a safety net that if meat falls off the mizbeach, it should be caught by the reshet. But anyways, it says over here, there's a reshet. It was more of a decorative. It seems like this is the mizbeach that you like a mizbeach achitzoin. This is the mizbeach in the Mishkan, in the Midbar. It was different than the first Beis HaMikdash and the second Beis HaMikdash. They had this mizbeach, it was mobile. This is where they put the karbanos on. It was like this. This and that are the same. They do the same function. They're different sizes, but they do the same function. That's why I'm showing you on the bottom, if you add the ramp to it, so it looks similar to this. Now it looks similar to this. It has a ramp. Just it itself, it moves away from the ramp. This also is not attached to the ramp. And that one, in particular, had something called a reshet. It had this. And therefore, the Mizbeach later on, in the Beis HaMikdash, in the first Beis, had a red line on it also, resembling that lattice work. Shior Adam, Tonar Rabbanan. Tonar Rabbanan, El Yisoid Mizbach Ze Yisoid Droimi. Oh! So, Droimi, if we're talking about Droimi means the southern corner. And as we know, here's the guy, he's all the way at the end of the thing. That's where the two holes are. That's where you pour the blood. Here, right over here, the shirayim. You have leftover blood, this whole thing. Maybe turn off the volume for a second, please. Okay, now I'm going to do it. I can't stand that noise. Good. Where's this? This is in the southern corner. I told him Yisoid Droimi, Oyeno Elo Yisoid Maravi. Oh, what's Yisoid Maravi? Here, when he comes out, sorry, you're not supposed to see that, that's for me. When a kohen comes out of the heichal, this is the heichal, this is a bird's view, comes out of the heichal, what does he bump into? He bumps into the western wall of the Mizbeach. That's the west wall. So he has to make a right, but before he makes a right, he hits the west. So maybe you should put it on the western wall. And it said, Maravi, Yilmad Sosum Mefurish. Why? Because when it talks about the Chatas Apnimi, the blood of the Chatas that's inside the Heichal, so it says, when he comes out of the Heichal, like we just saw, Pesach Oyel Moed, the Heichal, the Oyel Moed, when he comes out, what he bumps into first, what is that? That's Ma'ariv. And he pours the blood on Ma'ariv, on west. He doesn't go to south. He hits right away. That's what the Chatas Apnimi. And that's his Mefurish in the Torah. They should apply the blood on the western wall, not on the southern wall. So maybe you should learn one Chatas from the other. The regular Chatas that you do outside, next to this Mizbeach, Hachitzoin. See, it's not in the picture. This guy. The one you do in here, it doesn't say where to put the blood, but you should learn it from the one that you apply inside the Heichal, like a Yom Kippur. Over there, we know where to apply the blood. Over there, it's on the western wall, not on the southern wall. Amris Yilmad Yiridosei Min HaKevesh Litziyasai. You should learn from him coming off the ramp, Litziyasei Min HaHeichal, like coming off the Heichal. Ma Yitziyasei Min HaHeichal B'samach Loi? No. You have to apply the blood for the first thing that you bump into. A mavir mal mitzvah, so to speak. You have a mitzvah in front of you, you do it. You don't wait. So when he comes out of the Eichel, what does he bump into first? West, boom, hit the blood on the west. But when you come off the ramp, what are you hitting? This. Come off over here, you're going to hit this corner right here. So put the blood in this corner, in the southern corner. Doesn't make sense. Samachloi. Tanya. Rabbi Shmuel Omer. Zev zeh yisoid ma'ravi. We have a machloikis. Rabbi Shmuel says both chatois, pnimi and chitzoini, both go on the western wall. Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai Omer. Zev zeh yisoid roimi. Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai says no. It goes on the southern, where we showed the video, on the south. I could understand why both are in the western wall. Why? Because you should learn one that I don't know from one that I do know. It says Mefurish in the Torah, put it on the west wall when you come out of the Eichel. So the other Chatas should also be like that. Where did he get that both of them are in the southern wall? Look at this. When you come out of the Heichel, if you walk out the center of the doorway and you follow the red line, you're going to hit the southern corner, the end of the Mizbeach. That's the south corner. Before we showed that he hits the western wall because the Mizbeach was pushed downwards. Now we're saying no. The Mizbeach is actually pushed north. You push it upwards. And when I come out of the Heichel, at least if I come out of the center of the Heichel, I'm going to hit this corner, this spitz right over here. Like you see in the picture, the red line directly to the south corner. And that's where the two holes are. Or, any way you want, take a look what happens here. You saw what just happened? It's the same idea. It just means that you don't have to go to the center of the Heichel door. You could, any part of the Heichel door you come out of, you are going to hit that southern corner. Whether you want to learn it in the Kulei Pesach B'Daraim or the other opposite, the idea is the same. Tana, Nun Gimel Amud Beis. Tana Rabbi Shmuel, Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai Oimrim. The Talmidim of Rabbi Shmuel say that Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai agrees with them. Zeh v'zeh Yisoid Maravi. Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai never said that it should be in the south. He said that both of them should be in the west, like our Rebbe Rabbi Shmuel said. V'simonech Mashul Gavri L'Gavri. The men grabbed the man and man. Ha'oila Kochi Kedoshim. The oila is in the list of Kochi Kedoshim. The Gemara is going to ask the obvious question that when we said Chatas, which is also on the list, it doesn't say, oh, it's in the list of Kochi Kedoshim. I explained it. But over here the Mishnah says it straight out. You should know oila is in the list of Kochi Kedoshim. Shchidas Batzafan. Same thing. Shchita has to be done in the northern part of the Azara of Kibul Dom B'Kli Shariz Batzafan. And you accept the blood in Kli Shariz Batzafan. V'dama ta'un shtei matana shein arba. You apply the blood on two corners, which equals 4. What's the corner that you start out with? What? Southwest, Rabbi side. Southwest is a real picture. Utu'una hefshed v'nituach. Even a oila that you're throwing onto Mizbeach, you must do this. The Torah says it's mefurish v'hifshet this oila. You have to remove the skin, give it to the kohanim. That's one thing the kohen gets from the oila. V'nitach oisam l'sochel. You got to chop it up before you put it on the. You hear this hillel? You can't just put the whole animal on the mizbeach. You have to cut it up nicely. V'kol li'ishim, and yeah, we're going to see in the Gemara Machlokes. V'kol li'ishim, and it's burned completely. Oila ma'itayma tonelei kochi kedoshim. Why does the Mishnah mention that oila is in the list of kochi kochim, not kochim kalim? Where by the Chatas it wasn't mentioned. Mishum d'lechsiv ba kochi kedoshim hi. If you look at this pasuk right over here that's talking about a Chatas, what does it say all the way at the end? Kodesh kedoshim hi. I don't need a Mishnah to tell me that a Chatas is kodesh kedoshim. But by oila it doesn't say kodesh kedoshim. So I would think that it's not. It says the Mishnah that it is. So there's an interesting Rashi here. Rashi says, so who told you that oil is kodesh kedoshim? Who told the Mishnah? Very good. It's in the Mishnah that's kodesh mechatesa. Maybe echad is kodesh kedoshim and oil is not. Says Rashi that everything that goes up on the mizbeach, even from a toida and a shlamim, is kodesh kedoshim. The parts that go on the mizbeach are kochi kochim. So mele the oil that goes on the mizbeach is kuloi kochi kochim. That's what Rashi says. Doesn't matter. It's not a common beggar. Meiser kohen loy is in the shu min zevach. There's by kochi kedoshim domoi ve'imurov. The blood and the imurim are considered kochi kochim. So that's how I know that oil is kochi kochim. How do you do it? Here we go. Very very pashat. This is stamazoi. Shtaim sheim arba. Here we go in slow motion. Which the Mishnah said, but we're going to see in a second of Machlokes. He hits the corner, but it spills on two walls. So it's 1, which equals 2. You do that twice, so that's 2. There are 4. Shtayim sheim arba. But here we have a machlokes. According to Rav, you do this. You apply it on this. You're by the corner, but you apply it on one side, then you apply it on the other side. Apply it on one side, apply it on another. So you actually apply 4 applications on 2 corners, but 4 applications. According to Shmuel, no. You're only hitting it once, and it goes to the 2 sides. Rav says that you keep on applying it 4 times until you get to 4. You do this. This is a gamma in Greek. So basically, it's like a chaf, and it wraps. This is the corner, so you're wrapping the corner with a chaf. You're hitting the corner, and it goes to both walls. Maybe 1 zrika is enough. Where did it say in the Torah how many zrikas? Tamaloi masaviv. But it does say in the Torah around. You have to put the blood around. Oh, around. Maybe literally take the blood and walk around the mizbeach with a paintbrush and just go start over here or over here. It doesn't matter. And just keep on going like this red line. You see this red line? Do that. Here, all the way around the mizbeach. Who said that that's not what you do? No, it doesn't say so. It says give it you should throw the blood, a spritz. It should be like a chav. It's 2, which equals 4.
The damatone.
That's in parentheses. The damatone, shtematon shenarba. Rabbi Shmuel Omer. Nemar kan saviv. It says by Ariel the word saviv. V'nemar lahalon saviv by chatos. It's by the inauguration of the Beis Hamikdash by the Miluyim. It says saviv. 2 saviv malalon pisuk barba matonis. So there was a stop. There was a break between each and every one. It was 4 individual applications. Pisuk v'arba matanis. Afkan. So by the oil also pisuk v'arba matanis. It should be 4 matanis that are individual matanis. Imal Allah and arba matanis alabra kronos. Maybe by the oil it should be on 4 separate corners. Literally 1, 2, 3, 4. Why do you say that it's on 1 corner over here and a 2nd corner over here? Amarto. The problem is that we learned already that oila you can only apply the blood where there's a base. And guess what? If you look over here, there's no base. The base stops right over here. This whole area doesn't have a base. If you see it over here, maybe it's a little better. This is the base, and it stops right over here. There's no base over here. I cannot apply the blood to all 4 corners of the oila. The oila needs a base. So the only eitzah I have is to use corners that have bases, and that's only 2 corners. I'll hit 2 corners up. And Rabbi Sai, the next Gemara is a little bit of an agata. I'm going to leave it for tomorrow. Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful day. Welcome back, Yidel.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.